Hey, hi, how you doing? This is the Gamertron, and welcome back to the Gamertron Show! For Honor! Aw, man. It's as much fun to say as it is to play. For Honor! So recently, I've finally been able to play through my most anticipated game of 2017, Ubisoft's For Honor. And as usual with video games I play nowadays, it surpassed my expectations. The gameplay, the combat is intense and satisfying. True skill-based combat. The single-player campaign is grand and epic. And the multiplayer is jam-packed with content and progression. I gotta say, I am loving For Honor, but let's go now into a bit more in-depth detail about the game. Let's start off with what For Honor is most talked about for. Its combat system, the art of battle as Ubisoft has called it. The art of battle consists of holding your weapon and taking a stance left, right, or above. Depending on what stance you are taking, left, right, or above, that is where you will defend from attacks, block incoming and parry attacks, and what direction you will deliver your attacks from. That is what truly separates For Honor from your typical hack and slash video game. While there are light and heavy attacks and combos, using that and combining that in conjunction of the different stances you take allows you to perform a multitude of combos, counters, and special moves. A lot of people have compared For Honor and its gameplay to that of a mixture of a hack and slash video game and a fighting game. And they're not wrong, it's a comparably different experience to when you're battling a large army of players and minions, making it feel more Dynasty Warriors-esque than when you're in the one-on-one duels, where it is relatable to a fighting game such as Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat, with light and heavy attacks, combos, blocks, parries, guard breaks, grabs, and special moves, and it makes For Honor's combat and gameplay so invigorating, so exciting, so intense. Switching between these two styles of battling a large army to the intimate one-on-one combat, it allows for boundless amounts of variety and replayability. No two battles, no two duels will ever look or feel the same, but they will always look freaking awesome because, and I have to get this out of the way, For Honor is one of the most beautiful games I have ever seen. It is truly a gorgeous looking game, not only for its environments and its character models and its lighting and its textures, but most of all, the animations. I cannot stress enough how beautifully animated For Honor is. How the characters move, how they interact, how their armor moves and interacts with them, how they hold and swing and sheathe their weapons. It really is just a marvel to behold. It's rare that I notice animation quality in a game to the extent I have For Honor. Like, a lot of games I play have really good animation. And I'm a huge fan of animation. Reloading animations in first-person shooters, emotes. I adore animation, but For Honor's animation is just so smooth, so fluid and crisp. It just looks so good. And the quality of the animations and the overall visuals of the game really do add to the gameplay. It really does add to the immersion, the scale, and just the epic battles and duels of For Honor as a whole. Moving on, I'd really like to take some time to talk about the single-player campaign for Honor, because it is awesome. With excellent voice acting, cutscenes, set pieces, boss battles, and a badass villain, the warlord Apollyon. Now, I'm just going to get this over with. For Honor doesn't have the best story or character development. What's there is fine, it's serviceable, it's somewhat simple and silly, but there are absolutely some entertaining and powerful moments through the story, through the plot. It is a bit of a shame and it is disappointing that many of the side characters and main characters don't get as much screen time or as much character development as the main villain, Apollyon. Apollyon is the real star of the show in the single-player campaign. And while I am grateful that For Honor delivered to us an absolutely awesome character, an awesome villain, now one of my favorite villains in Apollyon, it's a shame that the rest of the cast of characters and the rest of the story and character arcs had to suffer to showcase Apollyon as much as the story mode did. But where there are some issues in the actual story and plot, the actual gameplay of the single-player campaign is goddamn awesome, and has quite a bit of replayability to boot. The single-player campaign will have you trekking across lands, sieging multiple castles and fortresses, putting you through epic, challenging, and fun combat scenarios, with a variety of enemies, some exclusive to the single-player campaign. The single-player campaign also has you playing as a variety of different characters, really mixing up the different levels to feel unique from one another. And then there's my absolute favorite part of the single-player campaign, the set pieces. There are some awesome set set pieces that are just an epic wonder to behold. A joy to see and to play through. There's a level where you have to defend this giant ram and escort it to the gates of a castle so it can knock it down. There's a level where there's this awesome chase scene on horseback, avoiding obstacles and attacking other enemies on horseback. And there's one level where there's a boss battle against a friggin' war elephant. Every level, every chapter in For Honor has a unique feel to it. And the different chapters representing the different factions, the knights, the Viking, and the samurai, all have different tonal feels to them as well. There's a more calm, somber, dutiful to the Knights chapter. There's a more loud, bombastic, aggressive, and humorous tone in the Vikings chapter, while the Samurai is kind of a mix of both of those and more. I really like the single-player campaign of For Honor. I really enjoyed it. Although the story could have been told better and there could have been much better character development for the other side and main characters, For Honor single-player still, however, contains awesome lore, an awesome world and setting, awesome cutscenes and set pieces, memorable moments, fun gameplay, and a great villain. And now, the other half of For Honor, the multiplayer. And it's friggin' awesome. It's great. It's jam-packed with content and options, with different game modes and playable characters suiting anyone and everyone's different types of playstyles. And with the added option to play all of this by yourself with bots, PvE, or PvP. Oh my god, it's like For Honor was made for me and had me in mind. If I want to be competitive and test my skill against other people online, I can. If I don't want to put up with other people right now, just want to work with people, I can do PvE. And if I just want to play by myself and play around, mess around with the bots, I can. Options, options, options. I love me some options. There's also a great variety in terms of the game modes. We have the highly popular 1v1 duels, which is exactly what it sounds like, 2v2 brawl, 4v4 elimination and skirmish, and 4v4 Dominion, with certain game modes containing AI minions and others without. My favorite game mode, next to the 1v1 duel, is Dominion, where 8 players, 4v4, and a small army of minions contest free control points. This is where For Honor shows off its inspiration for MOBA-like games, Dynasty Warriors, and where strategy, timing, and teamwork will win the day in these chaotic, epic, grandiose battles. Having those AI minions on the field contesting a control point constantly, and while you slay hordes and hordes of them while worry about enemy players. The Dominion game mode makes you really feel like you're in a war, like you're in an all-out war, especially with the intro and outro cinematics that come along with this game mode. Oh man, I really like Dominion. It's a lot of fun. It's also very unique. For Honor as a whole is a very unique, one-of-a-kind game that takes inspiration from so many other games and inspiration from historical, medieval warfare that For Honor is just such a unique gem. And it's rare to see the AAA games industry really experiment with a game of this setting. Lastly, I need to actually talk about the actual knights, Vikings, and samurai in the game, now don't I? The different playable characters you have. Each of the free factions have 4 heroes, with even more on the way via free DLC. But the total of 12 heroes we have right now are all diverse and have diverse looks, feels, and play styles. There are characters for players who like to play more aggressive, there are characters for players who like to play more defensive, and there are characters for those of you who prefer stealthy hit-and-run tactics, or glass cannon type characters. The different playable hero characters truly are fun to play as and add excellent variety to the game and a ton of replayability. Playing as and trying to master all the different moves and abilities of all these characters, and having them in different team compositions and opposition with one another, it's a very unique mind game and just a lot of fun. In the end, I really love For Honor. It's quickly becoming one of my favorite games of all time. There's just so much I love about it. The premise, the setting, the story mode, the multiplayer, the different playable characters, the deep, skillful combat and gameplay that's easy to learn but extremely hard to master. It's a true skill-based gameplay combat system. The visuals, the animations are absolutely stunning. There's so much variety, so much content to play through, and even a ridiculous amount of progression and customization. Oh man. For Honor is epic. For Honor is a good time. For Honor is an incredibly well-made video game, and I can't recommend it enough. Anyways, that's been a video. I hope you liked the video. If you did indeed like the video in any way, shape, or form, please be sure to hit the like button. Hitting the like button helps you, helps me, helps everybody involved with the video. If you hit the like button, please leave a comment down below. What do you think of For Honor? Let me know your thoughts, feelings, and opinions on this video and the video game I talked about in the comment section down below. I love reading comments. Get nearly enough comments. Please leave a comment. If you want to help out and support this video, then please consider sharing it on social media, Twitter and Facebook. And if you want to help out and support me directly, well, there's always Patreon. Anyways, guys, that's been a video, and I'll see you all later.